is his baby. And I can't wait, because the devil is a liar and this is Lucifer, so stop.
Well, you might be the devil then. We'll see.
I am without a doubt 100% certain that he is my son's father. Not only was I only sleeping with him, we were actually working on our relationship. We already had a child from a previous situation. We got back together. We're working on us.
At the time that Gio was conceived, we were not having no type of intercourse. We were not cool at the moment.
He went out and got 3 pregnancy tests, made me take all of them. They were all positive. And he was like, well, that's not my baby.
This is what it was. She was trying to get back with me, but I wasn't. So she probably felt like if we have a child, we might work out.
If he has any doubts, I carried the baby. I birthed the baby. If you have any doubts, go ahead. I don't mind making you look stupid. That's why I'm here now.
Okay, so your point is I'm tired of hearing the denial. If you want a DNA test, let's take it now, because I know you're the father.
Exactly.
Mr. Lee, you are not the father.
Hold up.
I already knew it. I told you.
Don't look at me like that. I don't know God's
Who else? It was you that was...
You just inject God in this?
I did not put him in this. I'm just saying.
What's up, everyone? Today we're talking about something that's becoming way too common. Women demanding their husbands accept paternity fraud like it's no big deal. We're seeing cases where wives get exposed for having children that aren't their husbands, and instead of showing remorse, they're making demands and expecting these men to just raise another man's child. The manipulation tactics and entitlement are absolutely insane. Let's dive into why this keeps happening and how these demands usually backfire spectacularly.
And you pay this every month?
Right, it's weekly, but right, I pay it every month.
And so, Ms. Call, you're allowing Mr. Jacobs to pay the child support, even though you say that Mr. Cooper is the child's father.
Your Honor, I didn't take Mr. Jacobs for child support. The government did.
Well, no. My point is...
I know.
No, look, trust me. I do know, because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is, you accept the child support, but you want Mr. Cooper to be the child's father, and he's acting like he doesn't want anything to do with the baby. I'm baffled. I think it's time for the results. Jerome?
Thank you.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Jacobs versus Call, pertaining to whether Mr. Cooper or Mr. Jacobs is the father of 3-year-old Samar Jacobs, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Cooper, you are not the father.
I knew it.
Mr. Jacobs, you are not the father.
What the? Oh, hold on, wait a minute, calm down. Whoa, review that. You say what?
Miss Call, you don't seem that surprised. I'm sat this bench long enough to know a real reaction. You're not surprised.
There's a couple more people.
A couple more people.
Yo, what?
I was lying.
Okay. Look, ain't no shame in the game now. I mean, the results are in. Do you know where these men are? This may require some research on your part, because your baby deserves to know who his father is. Mr. Jacobs. Now, you know you should listen to your mama.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You've got a situation on your hands where you're going to have to return to your home state. You are going to have to petition the court in that state to see if the court will allow you to remove your name from the birth certificate, and there's no guarantee. You young people need to get it together. You know, I call you young people because you are. But you're adults. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Court is adjourned.
All know divorce is high, and 75% of divorce is led by women. Most people might say that it's a woman's fault, but you might actually say that it's because women pick up on what's wrong in a relationship before the man does. Things that you have to understand about women is you have to listen to them. We're more sensitive to negative emotion. That's why women notice threats sooner than men would. Women's threat detections is heightened. But when women come to you with their concerns, it's because they're very intuitive. She'll bring it to her husband. If he wants the marriage to work, then he will try to solve the problem quickly and efficiently. Always listen to your woman when she brings up concerns. Don't think that she's nagging. Don't think that she's just in a bad mood or she's PMSing. If she's concerned, pay attention. Listen. Be empathetic.
This woman really just blamed men for the fact that 75% of divorces are initiated by women. The mental gymnastics are incredible. Women are the ones filing for divorce, but somehow it's men's fault for not listening. Make it make sense. Women are more sensitive to negative emotion. Or maybe women are more likely to blow up relationships over minor issues instead of working through normal marriage challenges. Being sensitive doesn't mean you're right. It means you're reactive. She'll bring it to her husband, and if he wants the marriage to work, he'll solve the problem. Notice how it's always the man's job to fix whatever the woman is complaining about. This whole narrative is women initiate divorces because men don't listen, when the reality is often women have unrealistic expectations, refuse to communicate effectively, and give up when marriage requires actual work instead of constant validation.
Women do not like men. And the reason that most women don't like men is because these men try to hold them accountable and don't let them play the victim. You have to understand that a lot of women will intentionally date piece of shit men just so they don't have to have accountability in their behavior in the relationship, because it takes two to tango. And then these women come across my page and assume that because of what I talk about, I'm against them. But the reality is that everybody is sick of the excuses for your poor behavior. No one is trying to invalidate your experience. We're just trying to tell you that you played a part in the downfall of how your life is and the things that you've gone through. Additionally, women only like men for what they can provide for them. So as soon as the money runs out or whatever it is that they're looking for, that's why they have the backup plans or the rosters or whatever it is. You have to understand, if you learn anything from my platform, is that women do not hang around people that do not validate them. This goes for friendships and romantic relationships. And they don't even realize that it's happening 9 times out of 10. Because the only reason that women stay friends with women is, one, if they don't like the same man. Like, as soon as 2 girls like the same boy, that's the end of the friendship. Or the other scenario is like, if one girl is a hoe and is out here having a roster and the other friend's like, nah, I'm just going to hang out with my boyfriend, or I'm going to be single and work on my career, that's also not going to work. And why is that? It's because those 2 people are not validating each other, which is why women cannot stand men. Men will hold them accountable. Men will make them honest. Men will tell them shit that they don't want to hear, just like you'll tell them, you know, the lashes are ugly, the makeup is ugly, all the bullshit that women do is ugly, and they don't want to hear it because you're not validating them. And women will preach all day long that men are the ones that hate women, but at the end of the day, I have to wonder if women really hate men because, well, you're not agreeing with them. Okay, bye.
So, I don't know how to get over my ex. I admitted it. It's been like 5 months since my breakup, and when I tell you that I wake up every day with the most crippling anxiety of my life, I would not be lying. I have tried everything. People say make more friends. I've made so many friends, and it just doesn't fill the void that I have. People say get new hobbies. I joined golf. I'm doing skating. I joined a gym for the first time in my life. I really started doing more art stuff. Still cannot get over my ex. And then people say, well, maybe just move. Switch up your environment. Switch up your space, you know? I moved from my apartment that I was in for the past 3 years while I was in my relationship to a completely different apartment. We've even been in this apartment together, and I still feel like I have this energy of him that I cannot get rid of. People say focus on yourself more. Okay, well, I only focus on myself. When I'm focusing on myself, I'm still thinking about him. My favorite is when people say, well, maybe go on different dates. Like, sometimes to get over someone and like move on, you have to like move on with someone else. I've went on 10 to 15 dates over the past 5 months. I'm not even joking. I'm on a break right now, but like, that's how many dates I've been on. And dates are the worst. I come home feeling so depressed, just horrible about my life, and then I like really want to go back to my ex. I just don't think that's working for me either. Someone please tell me, please. I don't know what to do at this point. Like, is there anything I can take to move on?
Here's how I plan to find a husband in 2025 with the help of my vision board and ChatGPT. Starting with my vision board, I did put a man on my vision board in 2024, but I didn't find it, but it's okay. Basically, I put a man on here again a few times. I'm actually going to show you my vision board in another video. I'll just tell you how ChatGPT is going to help me find my husband. Basically, for years, I've had a list of all of the things, all of the traits, characteristics, everything that I want in my ideal man. It's good to do that even if you don't do what I'm about to say next. I took my list and I said to ChatGPT, I said, if I want a man who has all of the qualities below, what type of woman do you think he would want? So I put them all in, and then ChatGPT says all of these traits that this man's ideal woman would have. Okay, some of them I'm good, some of them I'm good, some of them I could probably work on. And then I said, okay, period. Based on these qualities, what would the daily activities or schedule be of this woman? I get a whole schedule. Yep, I got a whole schedule between the wake up, the workouts, the breakfast, the work, everything. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna follow this schedule until I find my husband. And I'm gonna refer back to my list often to make sure that I'm not veering from the list. I will let you know how it goes.
This woman is using ChatGPT to create a fictional version of herself to attract a man, and somehow thinks this is a winning strategy? The delusion is spectacular. So let me get this straight. Instead of actually being the type of woman a quality man would want, she's going to pretend to be that woman by following an AI-generated schedule. That's not self-improvement. That's catfishing with extra steps. Some of them I'm good. Some of them I could work on. Translation: she doesn't actually possess the qualities that would attract the man she wants, but she's going to fake it until she traps him. What happens after she gets the husband and stops following the ChatGPT routine? He realizes he married a fraud? This is exactly what's wrong with modern women's approach to relationships. Instead of genuinely becoming a high-value woman, she's looking for hacks and shortcuts to manipulate her way into a relationship with a high-value man. The fact that she put a man on her vision board in 2024 and it didn't work should tell her something. Manifestation and AI prompts don't replace actually being the type of person someone wants to marry.
So you think you're more likely to end up in your divorce office if you're obsessed with your children?
If you make your children your absolute number one priority and your spouse falls very far down that list, yes, for sure. I think people who are obsessed with their children stop paying attention to themselves and to their partner. That's been my experience of people who are obsessed with their children. I don't mean people who are focused on their children. I don't mean people who make their children a high priority in their life. I'm talking about people that are like obsessed with their children, that their children are there. This is who I am. I am a mother. This is who I am. I am a father. Which, because by the way, childhood is a temporary state. Like theoretically, you're going to have a very close and intimate relationship on a day-to-day basis with your spouse a lot longer than your children. If it's done properly, your children are supposed to leave and go start their own families and live their own lives. Whereas your partner is not supposed to, in 19 years or 18 years, move out. They're supposed to stay there. So it's kind of smart to also feed, not only feed, also feed that relationship. There's no reason why you can't. And by the way, sometimes being a really good supportive person to your co-parent and loving your wife and loving your husband is a wonderful gift to give to your children. It models great relationship behavior to them. It's showing that you love and respect the other person who loves them as much as you do. Like there's so much good in being a good parent that is made up of being a good co-parent, a good spouse, a good partner.
If you're not focusing on what a man does for you that doesn't benefit him, you are going to miss out on so many quality men, and it's the reason men are treating you like dog shit. Men need to be doing things for you that doesn't necessarily benefit him. If he's doing things for you that benefit him, that doesn't necessarily mean he's a generous man, because he is also benefiting from what he is doing for you. You need to be seeking out men that do things for you that don't necessarily benefit him? Is he concerned with taking care of the things that you need to feel beautiful? Whether that's your mental health, whether that's taking things off of your plate, whether that's spending money on things that will help you. A lot of these things don't even require a whole bunch of money to be spent. You will be shocked. Men still won't do them for you. So understand that, ladies, a generous man is going to do things for you that does not benefit him. If he is only doing things for you that benefit him, he is not a generous man. And that is why a lot of you guys get so caught up in dating men for dinners and trips and things that don't necessarily just benefit you, sis. They are also benefiting him. If you're solely focused on that when you're dating, understand you will not meet a quality, generous provider man.
Nothing wrong with liking an 18-year-old. Men are so quick to go after little girls, but they are not friends with 18-year-old boys because they know they have nothing in common with them. They're not socializing with them and making friends with them in professional spaces, and they certainly aren't doing that in social spaces as well. Men have to go out of their way to prey on 18-year-old girls and put themselves in environments that 18-year-old girls are because they aren't just naturally in them. In the same way, they would have to go out of their way to make friends with 18-year-old boys. For those of us whose brains have developed, see right through this behavior. They go for young girls whose brains haven't developed, who continue to have a level of innocence and naivete, so that they can get away with their predatory and harmful behavior. And the physical attraction piece is a whole nother story. Don't even get me started, we should call the police. Either way, this behavior is extremely exposing because men are either operating at an 18-year-old function mental level, or they're preying upon quite literally children. In the same way that companies wish that they could pay less than minimum wage, men wish they could go lower than 18 because 18 is a made-up number. This type of behavior should never be acceptable, and I will continue to call it out every single time, and I think that we should start getting out the handcuffs.
This woman is trying to criminalize adult men being attracted to legal adult women and calling it predatory. The reach is absolutely insane. She's literally trying to redefine biology and legality because it makes her uncomfortable. Men wish they could go lower than 18. That's a disgusting accusation to throw at men who are attracted to legal adults. She's essentially calling all men pedophiles for finding young adult women attractive, which is both false and defamatory. 18 is a made-up number. Okay, so what number would satisfy you? 25? 30? Or is any man who's attracted to a woman younger than you just automatically a predator? This sounds like insecurity disguised as concern. The brain development argument is exhausting. If 18-year-olds aren't mature enough to make decisions about relationships, then they're not mature enough to vote, join the military, sign contracts, or go to college. But we trust them with all of those things because they're legal adults. We should call the police for what? 2 consenting adults being in a relationship? The police would laugh you out of the station for wasting their time.
If she has nothing to fix, she will start drama as soon as possible, okay? This is very bad. If she has to start the drama first, this is very bad. You might be wondering why. Well, why would it be bad if she has to start the drama first? Here's why it's bad. If you're dating a woman and you're in love with her, you'll naturally get reactive when she does this, and when she tries to add drama, and when she tries to pull back, you will naturally get reactive because you're scared. You're scared to lose her. You're scared of the relationship ending. If you're in love with her, you will naturally get reactive, and she will sense your fear of loss. As soon as that woman senses your fear of loss, here's what happens. This now signals low sexual market value. She sees that you don't have any other options besides her, or that she's your best option.
So I'm in my car right now after a first date, if we can even call it that. I just had to tell this story while it's still fresh and the emotions are still percolating. This guy had messaged me for several weeks on and off sporadically, usually asking if I was free last minute. Finally, he commits to 2 days in advance and says, how about Tuesday night? Great, Tuesday night works. He suggests the bar, suggests the time. I say perfect. So we're both running a little late. It's fine. It's LA and there's always traffic. I get to the bar before him and the door is locked. Because of course, it's mid-December. Companies are having private parties. I don't blame him for that. But I tell him I think they're having a private event. The door is locked. There's catered food outside on the patio. Do you know of anywhere else? So he's taking forever to park, which, again, LA, it happens. Finally, he walks up, not looking totally unkempt, but the vest he's wearing, I find out he's doing house renovations. Clearly, he is painting in that fucking vest. So he tells me, I'm kind of new to this neighborhood. I don't really know what else is around. I had already looked in my phone while I was waiting for him. I say, I only see one bar within walking distance. Let's give it a try. Now, granted, I have had a very long day. No, a very long month, a very long quarter at work. I am so decision fatigued and tired of running the lives of grown-ass adults. But still, here I am, leading the way in this man's neighborhood. And so we get to the alternate bar. It's a little hole-in-the-wall place. I'm thinking maybe it'll be a little loud in there, not the easiest for us to have a conversation. But it's not anything super sketchy or out of the ordinary for a dive bar. But clearly, he's uncomfortable being there. I ask, do you want to get a drink? And he just kind of stands around and looks like, do I? But then I'm looking at the clientele, and I have no way to verify this, but I have a sneaking suspicion he's uncomfortable because most of the patrons are not white. And I'm like, okay, dude, I don't care if you want to stay or want to go, but for the love of God, just make a choice. And he's like, oh, we could maybe get a bottle of wine, go back to my place in my courtyard. And I'm like, how far is it? Clearly it's far enough that you had to drive here. So we start walking back. He had already told me about the shitty stuff he had to deal with today. He starts asking me about mine. And I'm just like, I gotta be honest, man. This shit is not helping. So we start walking back to the original bar where we met because they do have a little food stand where you can buy some beers and wine. And I say, okay, do you want to just grab a glass of wine or a beer here? And he's like, yeah, sure, we could do that. But, can I Zelle you? He's like, yeah, I was actually running late because I forgot my wallet. Can I Zelle you for the cost of a bottle of wine? And as a disaster of a human being who loses shit all the time, if that had happened to me, which it very well could, the first thing I would have said when I rolled up late would be, I'm so sorry. I could not find my wallet anywhere. I was looking for it, but I didn't want to keep you waiting any longer. But no, he doesn't mention it then, doesn't mention it at any point in the 15 minutes we spend walking around the block. And honestly, again, I get it. Shit happens. But what gets me, what really fucking gets me, is that there's no hint of accountability whatsoever. Not one utterance of, I'm sorry, I fucked up. That's what I find inexcusable. That and the potential racism. So I literally just look at him dumbfounded. Like, seriously, bro? No, I don't want to Zelle you at this point. And he's like, oh yeah, let's just call it. And as I turn to walk to my car, he's like, oh, it was nice to meet you. And I'm like, let's be real here. Let's not pretend that this was cool. He just crosses the street, mumbling something to himself. Again, no apologies. And real talk, nothing about it shocks me. None of it. In the realm of dating horror stories, this wasn't all that bad. But it's just how pervasive and continuous it is. This man is 40 years old. And then people wonder why there's a male loneliness epidemic and shame women for choosing to be single. You think a sane person would choose to endure this? You want to complain how women are too emotional? Y'all are lucky I'm emotional. If I was thinking more logically, I'd have written you off a long time ago. And many women have. And you know what? More power to him. Because I don't begrudge any woman who doesn't want to spend her Tuesday night doing this.
And that's the reality we're dealing with. Women who commit the ultimate betrayal and then have the audacity to demand their victims just accept it and move on. From expecting husbands to raise other men's children to trying to criminalize men's natural preferences when it comes to legal adult women, the entitlement and manipulation tactics are off the charts. What stands out in all of these situations is the complete lack of accountability. These women destroy trust, commit fraud, or try to control male behavior. And when men push back or refuse to comply, suddenly they're the villains. It's gaslighting on a massive scale. To the men watching this, you owe these women nothing. Not acceptance of paternity fraud, not tolerance of manipulation, not compliance with their attempts to shame your natural preferences. Stand firm your boundaries and don't let anyone guilt you into accepting disrespect. These women want to control the narrative, control men's choices, and avoid all consequences for their actions. But more men are waking up and refusing to play along with these games. The era of men quietly accepting whatever women demand is over. Boundaries are being enforced, standards are being maintained, and manipulation tactics are being called out for exactly what they are.